Good morning, Flosstube. It's Lynette coming here from sunny Brisbane. Yesterday was supposed to be our shortest day, but it's nothing like winter up in the north. It's beautiful here at the moment. Last couple of weeks have been very scattered with various appointments and things going on, but I thought now I should come and show you what I'm doing before it gets much longer. As those of you who've watched before know, I base a lot of my stitching around Carolyn Zook's monthly magazine challenge group on Facebook. So we'll start with that. So the June monthly challenge was flowers, and I was doing Mary Ann Kittle, and I haven't touched that. And then the acrostic was floral. So for F, mine was feature article on the North Pole News, and I've got it out of order. Oops. So this is the design, and I won this in a giveaway with Carolyn, and she kitted it up, which was really lovely, and it's been fun to work with the fabric, which is 28 count lamb's wool Joberlin by Witchelt, and classic Colourworks threads and a few DMCs. And I did have finish, but I thought my original idea was just finish the letters at the top. But here's where I've got to. I've had a lot of fun doing this. Those reindeer were a little bit fiddly, especially counting from one to the other, but they're all done. So I've done the top 2 pages, which is like a page and a bit. So I've just still got to do the leaf and these bits down here. So once I get back to it, it won't take too long to finish that. It's been fun. Oh, and this one, yeah, I think you can see that there. This is called Sunflower, and I'm thinking, what are we going to use this for? Well, it's for you can't even see them on here. It's the lights on the Christmas tree. So all of about 10 stitches. So that'll be nice to go in my stash when that's done. And that's all kept in a drawstring bag I made from a tea towel a friend bought me back from holidays, and it was just too fun to leave as a tea towel, so I just made it into a drawstring bag and the strings inside. So it just lives in there. Then we have Noah by Carriage House, and I've forgotten again to bring the picture. It's a stocking, and so for this, the O in floral was O. Noah is huge, he goes way down, and the L from floral is supposed to be Lepidoptera for butterflies, and the butterflies, there's a B here, and then there's butterflies. So I might get back and do a little bit more of this today and see if I can meet some of the challenge, but it's getting there. It's a lot of fun to stitch on. I don't know why sometimes we enjoy stitching on something and then we move on to something else. So that's Noah, and he's just in a generic bag. And then R in Gnomeville, my notes are here, is residences. R was for residences, and this is my Gnomeville stitch along. And I actually, when I pulled this out this morning, I thought I'd done a lot more. This is a toadstool house. He's still got his stem with a door to go in. So this is part 4 here. Part 5 is due out on Monday, I think. So I've got a few days. It's Wednesday here, so I've got a few days to catch up with that one. It's fun too. And this one lives in this beautiful bag that was made to be my friend Jenny. And this section's all ties. I had a tie collection, and I decided I wasn't going to do anything with it, and she said, oh, I'll have them. And then she made me this, and it has a tassel. So that's lovely. It used to have, what did it have in it? I can't remember what it had in it, but it had in something I finished recently. So that's, and then A in floral was supposed to be for A Year in the Woods, that fox. I still haven't got back to it, I don't know why. And L was supposed to be for Lucy's sampler, which I showed you last time, and I haven't done any more of that either. supposed to complete page 3, which is all 1/1. I've got an FO too that I made this a while ago, and I've just turned it into a little cushion. We call them cushions here in Australia, pillows, anyway, little pillow cushion. Not All Those Who Wander Are Lost. It was out of a magazine. A friend gave me this magazine, which was a compilation of a whole lot of other charts that were in it. The English, I think it might have been Cross-Stitcher, I can't quite remember. One of the English ones anyway, but she's currently got the magazine because she's working on this as well, so I've lent that to her, but I finished it and I thought I'd show you because it's quite fun. Then we get to stitch-alongs, which I've been relatively good at not starting too many, but I have started some. So one that's come up, Mama Loves You GB, you are responsible for this one, is this Scottish, it's called Scottish Samplers Cell 2022. And part 1, we have part 1, which is essentially these letters. I'm not sure when part 2 comes out. I need to actually write down the schedule for it. But I've done a little bit of it. So I've started in the centre, so I can count down from the, work down from the top, and then I thought I'd work across and get my width. So this is 1/1 on a 36 count, possibly a Lagana. I know I bought this to do Modern Folk Embroidery stitch along from last year. It was really weird because the moment that came out, I really wanted to do it, and then when it actually started publishing them, I don't know, I just went right off it. And I've seen so many, they're beautiful, but just don't feel inclined to stitch it. So anyway, I've repurposed the fabric for this, and I'm really enjoying stitching this one. These are satin stitch little pyramids, triangles. As I said, I need to look up when the next one of that is. Yeah, and I've just got the chart going through here, the letters of the part 1. Then I was watching I think it was Annie B's, and then also Lisa Kindred Stitcher, both talking about Jane Austen's Stitch Along. So I remembered my friend Jenny, who made that bag for me, she gave me 2 patterns, all kitted up for my birthday, probably a couple of years ago now, which is all good because she kitted them up for herself as well, and I've actually finished one. So I went and found the one I finished. So this is the one I finished. So Jane Austen, 1775 to 1817. And these are by Petal Pusher. And then this is the other one, Pride and Prejudice. So Petal Pusher if you're looking for that one. And I've just made a start. I remember I was doing this on holidays. I took this on holidays a while back, probably last year. So I thought it's not very big, really. It's not very big. So I should just finish this one and put it in the cell, which I think is called, I've written down somewhere here, I think it's hashtag Jane Austen cell, and then you also tag at Annie B's Folk Art, because, and there's a lot of lovely patterns being shown if you watch both her and Lisa Kindred Stitcher. And the Noah's Ark stocking is also part of the hashtag Summer Stocking cell as well. So what have I got next time? That's just the DMC threads in a generic bag for Pride and Prejudice. Then I was watching Laura at Stitching by the Shore, and I love a lot of the things she's stitching, and she's had a bit of a start along with several mini haids, and I remembered I have a mini haid which she's doing, and it's this one. So it's Mini Sunflower Cottage, and this attracted me for 2 reasons. One is my youngest daughter loves sunflowers, and just all the bright colours. I just thought it was so much fun, and I started it the moment I got it and did a little tiny bit of blue, and I picked it up again. So I'm working, I tend to work top to bottom, left to right kind of thing. So I'm working up in here, and yeah, I think I've done this one here. Not quite sure which direction I'll work in this. I'd really like to get down to something more than fuzzy hearts and blue sky. And it's still in the hoop because I was working on this yesterday. So fuzzy hearts is the bigger one, and some sky. And then there's another fuzzy heart down here. I really enjoyed working on this. Now, Full Coverage Fanatics is also doing what's it called? Tour de France. And I printed off the schedule for that. I had issues with my computer, so I decided to print it on A3, so it's huge. And I think I'm going to go for the yellow jersey. So you can go for the yellow jersey, which is all the kilometres they run, the sprint stages, which is the green ones, or the climbing stages, which is the polka dot journey, and that's red in here. So this is the schedule. So it's not too bad. Like day one, it's really easy. 13 kilometres, so you stitch 13 stitches. And if you complete the whole thing, you end up stitching 3,356 stitches in by the 24th of July. And I think I can achieve this if I remember to do it. So I thought if I print this off, I can cross them off as we go along. And I thought I'd make a start on it. And then once we hit 31st of June, 30th of June, I will then take another picture of this as my starting point, because you can use whips for it. So I thought I'd get going on it while I was feeling motivated, because if I put it away till we get to July, it won't happen. That's the problem with a lot of these things. I get all excited when the prompts or whatever come out, and I plan it all, I want to work on it, but I've got to wait. So this one, I don't have to wait, I just have to post the picture of where I'm at. And this one is living in my project bag I made, and I use clipboards. Oh, there's a clipboard there to put my pattern on and mark off, because I bought markup, haven't done anything with it, and I haven't got a device for pattern keeper. So for the moment, I'm just going to cross off on my paper chart. But this, I made this project bag from, I think it was the 2019 Linen and Thread Stitch Along. It had butterfly border, I didn't do that, and I just thought I needed to make it into something I can use and enjoy. So that's what that's living in, and it's good because the clipboard, A4 clipboard, fits in there. So that's that one. And what was that from? One of them. Okay, so in the last few weeks, I've actually done a lot of knitting. Haven't done anything for a while, and then we got back into it, and there's a mystery stitch along. I'll talk about that in a minute. I'll start with my finish. This one is called, the pattern is called Little Arrow. I can't remember the designer, but at least I know the name of it, Little Arrow. And I used a grey cotton fingering weight, and then this is a whirl, and you can see how it changes colour until you get to the bottom. And there was still more whirl left, because it actually goes darker, the whirl goes darker into a dark purple further on if you use the whole whirl. So I've still got some of the whirl left. A whirl is a cotton acrylic blend 4-ply yarn that people have been crazy over. I'm not that crazy over it. Don't know that I really want to purchase another one, but it was fun while we did this. And this is quite big, and I don't think I can really show it to you. Oh, you get a fair idea. Now originally, the original pattern is where the grey is, and this top striped section here, where are we? This striped section up here was all grey, and then when you get to here, you change to the second colour and just have this second colour. And I didn't like that stripe, like block of one colour and block of another. So I did stripes, and I love knitting stripes. So I did stripes, and it blends it through, and I think it's really good, and it's quite big. And being cotton, I might actually wear it a bit here in Brisbane, that one. I haven't worn it yet. So that's my FO there. And then the mystery stitch along is Helen Stewart of Curious Handmade, and my friend Jenny. and I have been following her for a while and done a few of her stitch alongs, knit vent and things like that. So this one is called Miss May Mystery Shawl, and we've had 2 parts. Part 3 just came out last night, and this is going to be very hard to show. I'll go this way. So you can see it started down here with this grey little wheel thing, and the first 3 colours, the grey, the lighter mottle, and that's a steel blue colour, they are all out of my stash. So the grey is that same grey cotton that was left over from the little arrow. I don't know what this one is. It's lovely. It's a 4-ply fingering weight. I'm not even sure where I bought it. And then the next one is a silk that I also acquired from somewhere. I don't know where. And then this one I bought. We have a shop here called That Yarn Place, and they have a knitting group meets on a Friday morning, and I've been going there, and I bought this yarn from there, and it actually, hope it shows up as well. It blends quite well. They all blend. I'm really happy with the blending. So that yarn is this. It's called Black Wattle Yarn and Fibre. It's 100% Australian alpaca, which explains why it's so nice to knit with. And blackwattleyarn.com.au if anyone's in Australia and wants to, my donation might send overseas. And I didn't actually realise when I bought it, I just went on colour. So this now has got cotton, wool, silk and alpaca, and goodness knows what's going to happen when I actually block it, but we'll find out. And it's just a shawl, so I figured why not, and I've just been enjoying that one. So part 3 just came out, and that'll be good. And this is just a bag I've made, a drawstring bag. My daughter-in-law gave me this fabric on Christmas. It's a heavier weight. It's not a quilting weight. It's slightly heavier. And I've got pockets on the outside. Did I put pockets on the inside? Yeah, there's a pocket on the inside as well. Whoops, where are we? Here, there's a pocket on the inside. And these are the other yarns. So that's the silk. So I've already got one ball. It's called Spec, and it's got a price on it of $16.30 or something. I have no idea where I got this from. And that's that other yarn, the wool, and the grey, and Annette Erickson, and my alpaca. So I haven't actually looked at the new pattern. I've printed it out, but I haven't actually looked at it. So we'll find out what that is a bit later today. I'm hoping that the colours will blend a bit more, but we'll see. The thing is, when you do a mystery, you just got to trust the designer, and I only do mysteries from designers pretty much that I know, and know that I generally like their patterns, and only once or twice have I been a bit disappointed, but not overly. So then I found this little bag of bits from leftover from another project, and the Great Granny Stitch Along, is that what it's called? Fat Quarter Shop and Laurie Holt are doing it. So I am just crocheting granny squares out of my scraps. And the idea was that I emptied this bag, and honestly, I'm not doing too bad. If I take out the bits I've started, see they're in all various stages. It's nearly empty. But then I got to the point where I'm thinking, well, a lot of these are little bits, so I'm only going to get to that far. I won't be able to do the next round. So I finished a baby hat, which I forgot to bring out here. And oh, here's some of that. The baby hat was in this multi and a red, so I can incorporate those into here. And I've got a bit of a thing going on in my head at the moment that I actually want to finish up a lot of my yarn. And I've just joined a group called ACWAC, which is Australian Knitters for War-Affected Kids. and we can make all sorts of things for them. So I'm going to work through some of my stash and make things for them and make an inroads into my stash. That's the plan. And then I've also been quilting as well. So this one, I think I showed you some of these before. So I've been gradually adding these as we go along. And I've got it sitting on the lounge room floor at the moment, and there's ones to go along added on the side that have got the centre done, oops, and then the part of the green that needs to go. So there's a fair few sewn up, and I'm going to have to make, I think, a few more of the stripy ones, because if you remember, this was a study in fussy cutting stripes. And even these are fussy cut with the dark and the light in the middle, even though it's not overly obvious in these ones. So I just had fun when I worked at the quilt shop buying bits of fabric that appealed to me to fussy cut. This one's cool because it makes a kaleidoscope effect. And so I had this pile, and I decided they needed to be put together, so I bought that green grunge, which is a motor fabric, and put them together, and I think I'll just make it a lap size, so we'll see when I get all the bits stitched on it. Okay, so there's been a few other bits and pieces, but essentially that's what I've been working on since I saw you last. So July will be the sunflower cottage for, why can't I get my brain around this? The bike ride thing, Tour de France. Even when I went to write it down on my notes this morning, I was having trouble remembering what it was. So that's part of July. And then I've started working on the magazine monthly challenge theme and acrostic. So the theme is public spirit and the acrostic is honour. What have I got here? I've got cross stitch for the theme, public spirit. Cross stitch keeps me off the streets. And I've got another HAID, which I'll need to show you next time, which is Cruising the Information Highway by Spangler. And it's a library with a little dragon driving along in front of the books, the information highway. And I thought, well, there has to be a book on that shelf somewhere about public spirit. So that may be my theme. And then I've got in there, I've got the mini sunflower cottage and the Noah's stocking and my Gnomeville as well. So I'm still working on it. I haven't quite finalised it, but that's what I'm thinking. And the trouble is, I do these things thinking if I put that on there, it'll make me work on it. Well, as you can see from the fox has been on there 3 months running, and or maybe 2, and I haven't worked on it. So some other things I have, not for today, but I do have, when I went looking for that finished Pride and Prejudice piece, I have a box. People have an under the bed box. Well, mine is just an FO box, and it's a pretty present box that you can buy at one of the, the cheap shops. I like those boxes. I've got quite a few things in those boxes, so I can show you that. The smaller FOs I actually put into a scrapbook album from when I did a bit of scrapbooking, so you can flip through it like a coffee table book. So I can show you those. And another thing I have is, because I have this fascination for no specific reason, for Alice in Wonderland pieces, and I have another box, pretty present box, full of my Alice whips and patterns, and I also actually have my own design of a Alice. So I'm thinking maybe next time I might go through the Alice box, and then in a later video I can go through the FOs I've got, and I've got a lot of FOs. So that's it for me today from sunny Brisbane. I hope wherever you are, you're going to have a great day and that you get lots of stitching in, and I hope you're all enjoying all the StitchCon videos, which are going to keep us entertained while we're stitching for hours. Have a great week. Bye.